Welcome everyone. I've scoured the internet for SML Creepypasta, the Creepypasta wiki, YouTube, even the SML subreddit, and I've gathered many stories for us to discuss in this new series. Many thanks to Yoshi Bros for agreeing to collaborate on this episode. Go check out my feature on his channel after this video as well, if it's out. I don't know if it'll be out. And we are hoping to get Mill City reviews on the next episode. MCR, drop a comment if you're still down to collab, and we will find a way for you to hop on. Alright, now let us go. This one is cool. It's a creepypasta written from the perspective of Junior to scare his dad. Let me just read it in full since it's rather short. I am an avid fan of Charleyyy and Friends, so what I saw when I bought this tape was disturbing. Let me explain. I have a lot of Charleyyy and Friends merchandise, so when I got my hands on this tape, I was really happy. On the tape, there was sloppy writing in marker which said Charleyyy and Friends Pilot. Judging by the writing, it was clear that this was donated to Goodwill. I rewound the tape and put it in my VCR, as one usually does, and there it was, Charleyyy himself. It seemed like this was footage of him pitching his show over to Laughbox TV. "Hi, Laughbox TV. I'm Charleyyy," he said. After this, he attempted to do a cartwheel, tripping over himself, before the tape cuts, and now we're in his kitchen. Charleyyy is talking about something, but I was more distracted as there was something in the cabinets behind him. Since this was the pilot, he had no cameraman, so when he walked off screen, the camera didn't follow him, letting us see what was hidden in the cabinets behind Charleyyy. It was a hidden body, albeit not hidden very well. The tape continues as normal for about 4 more minutes before screaming is heard somewhere in the house. Charleyyy gets distracted by the scream, quickly saying bye and ending the tape. And that was the Charleyyy and Friends pilot. I really like the pasta. It was funny and it does fit pretty well for Junior. I'm surprised Logan never did this himself in an episode. You know, where a story where Bowser Jr. makes up a lost episode creepypasta about Charleyyy and tells it to Braxton. It would have made for a great Halloween episode back in the day. An SML movie is uploaded called SML movie The Skinwalker, where a man in a Jeffy costume terrorizes Jeffy, Marvin, and Rose. The video seems totally normal, besides the end of the video. The SML question flashes on screen, which was strangely just, "Every Jeffy needs a Marvin?" ? Even weirder, coordinates flash on screen after the question disappears, before vanishing, with a black screen for the remaining few seconds of the video. A fan named Charleyyy asks about the coordinates on Twitter, and shortly after, the entire video goes down with no re-upload from SML re-uploaded. A few days later, the video comes back, re-edited to have no coordinates and a normal SML question. Just after the re-upload, Lance goes missing. No response to his family or friends, and his car found in the middle of the woods. No trace of him. Charleyyy posts about heading out to the coordinates if he gets 1,000 likes on his post. Shortly after reaching the goal, Charleyyy ventures into the woods, giving Twitter updates the whole time. The first update. "So, I'm at the coordinates, which are just forest. All I've found are car keys." Second update. "I keep hearing strange grunts in the distance, which seem to be coming from an animal of some kind." Final update. The final update was a video posted by Charleyyy of a man in a blue helmet with a pencil crudely shoved up his nose, rummaging around in a bush, while Charleyyy seemed to be hiding away. Shortly after this, Charleyyy went missing. The police began to search to find Lance and Charleyyy. After using Charley's tweets to find the coordinates, they find a hole, Charley's phone, Lance's keys, and a few photographs inside of it. Most of the photos seem to be taken in a sewer. One depicts Lance, tied up and beaten, with the words "there can only be one" sloppily written on the photo. The next depicts Charleyyy, with a shaved head and taped on hair made to resemble Marvin, with a man dressed as Jeffy standing next to him, all of his teeth pulled out, and a crudely shoved pencil up his nose with blood on it. The written message on the back saying "Every Jeffy needs a Marvin." When asked, Logan said they hired the man because their actors were sick, but after it became clear that he wasn't mentally well, they filmed one last movie, SML movie The Skinwalker, and let him go. The man must have edited the video himself to add the SML question and the coordinates to get his quote-unquote Marvin to come to the location. And that was the creepypasta. I genuinely liked this one. Sure, it has a lot of tropes from other creepypasta in it, and it certainly wasn't the scariest I've ever heard, but still, it was very well written, and I do like the format of telling the story through Charley's tweets. It reminded me of Alex from Tennessee, if anyone remembers that. Very cool story. A fan comes down to Pensacola to see some family, and they decided to stop at the SML house to meet Logan back whenever he accepted fans coming to his house. They knock on the door and ring the doorbell, to no response. The fan steps on a camera on their way back to the car, which had dried blood on it. They pick up the camera. On the camera roll was the filming for Jeffy's 18th birthday. 4 hours of raw, unedited footage. Everything is normal, everyone is cracking jokes, until the van blows up and Jeffy dies. After this, it feels like the video is already edited. They get everything in one take, even if they mess up they just move on. Marvin is depressed from Jeffy's death. He goes and asks Brooklyn Guy for a hunting to go hunting, which Brooklyn Guy gives him. Marvin goes to the scene of Jeffy's death, and he puts the up to his head and pulls the trigger, blood splattering everywhere. This is the SML version of Red Mist, I guess. It has a lot of the classic creepypasta tropes, but this one makes less sense than the original. Why did Marvin splatter blood everywhere after his death? Did Logan blow off his own hand for this video? Why did everybody suddenly stop cracking jokes? Did Lance die in the van or something? It brings a lot of questions, more than the original pasta it's based on. This creepypasta is just does bad things guy killing everyone in increasingly gruesome ways, ending with Brooklyn Guy killing him. I tried to rewrite it to make it scarier, but I couldn't, so I guess it's just gonna be here for cataloging purposes. This is a supposed lost episode where Shrek contracts a parasite from one of his Charleyyy cheesecakes. Brooklyn Guy gets infected in the hospital after Shrek is admitted. Brooklyn Guy arrives to Marvin's house, knocking on his door. When Marvin answers, Brooklyn Guy's head splits open, and something emerges from his head and shoots at Marvin, infecting him. It cuts to Rose, who is watching a movie on the couch. 2 hands emerge from the background, grabbing Rose and pulling her back. It cuts to the kitchen after this, Marvin looking completely pale with a black hole where his features once were. He approaches Chef Pee-Pee, offering to help him cook dinner in broken grammar. Chef Pee-Pee slowly backs away as Marvin rants about how Jeffy is a bad son and how he does everything around here, lunging at Chef Pee-Pee. Chef Pee-Pee is then shown to be one of them, looking just like Marvin. Junior hears Chef Pee-Pee walking up behind him, asking what he wants to eat in broken English. Junior turns around to see nothing. He turns back around and Marvin is standing in front of him, attacking Junior and assimilating him as well. Jeffy comes back home, and the second he walks in, the assimilated ones are already on him. He fights through them before coming up on a light. He goes into the light, screams emanating all around him before the video ends. The familiar music of the SML question plays. Would you give yourself up for assimilation? Funniest comment gets assimilated. I thought this pasta suffered too much from trying to make it sound like it could actually be a realistic SML video, in a story where the entire SML house is covered in parasitic flesh, no less, and it made them tell the story in a way where there was filler in the creepypasta. I cut out a lot of talk about green beans and Shrek's cheesecake. I feel like this creepypasta could have used a bit of trimming down. Logan uploads a new video called Jeffy's Normal Day. It starts with Jeffy and Junior playing catch, until Junior throws the ball at Jeffy's head, which bounces off his face, and Jeffy starts crying. The video then gets deleted and re-uploaded moments later. Instead of playing with a ball, Jeffy and Junior are playing with a knife, which as you could imagine, eventually gets thrown at Jeffy. The knife immediately pierces straight through Jeffy's helmet, going straight into his head, which kills him instantly. Junior runs and tells Marvin about what happened. Marvin doesn't believe him, so he runs out to see Jeffy's body. While Marvin is gone, Jeffy walks in through the door and lunges at Junior. The video restarts, instead from the perspective of the camera sitting on the table with the Junior plush sitting next to it. Logan walks up and picks them up, not knowing the camera is rolling. Suddenly there's a knock on the door. The door opens and it's Lance, with the bleeding Jeffy puppet, holding a gun. Jeffy shoots Logan, the camera dropping to the floor with him. The video keeps rolling with Lance talking as Jeffy, talking to nobody no less, until he notices the camera. The episode restarts one last time, back on the desk where it was sitting before, this time without the Junior plush. The video rolls for about 3 more minutes before glitching out and ending with no SML question. Now there are a few different versions of this pasta. I just picked the one I found on the Creepypasta wiki, But in some versions, the field they were playing catch in was radioactive, and that's why the ball suddenly turned into a knife. In some, Jeffy comes back and stabs Junior with the knife, then the video ends. But I like the Creepypasta wiki version the most. It has the perfect amount of mystery, and it feels like classic era Creepypasta like Jeff, Smile.jpg, all of that. Logan actually did finish the Chef Pee Pee Quits series in this creepypasta. In an episode called The Final Blow, the video starts with Chef Pee Pee walking through the house with all the lights off, somehow being let back in without Bowser's knowledge. He walks through the house, sadly singing the song he wrote with Toad. He has an epiphany, realizing that he has found the solution to all of his problems. He sprints to the kitchen, climbing up on a chair before slowly putting his neck through He chokes slowly, with realistic choking sounds that also sound nothing like Lavelle, until he dies. This is shown by Lavelle's arm being absent from the puppet. Chef Pee Pee is then shown as a ghost. He starts celebrating until he begins falling through the floor, screaming as it slowly gets hotter and hotter, until the video ends. Afterwards, the video was quickly deleted from the backlash, and purged from any and all archive channels, with only descriptions existing till this day. Okay, this one is obviously untrue. There were no more entries in the Chef Pee Pee Quits series, which is tragic and majorly disappointing, but still very cool to think about. Just like the previous entry, I like how this could have been real. I mean, we've seen Logan use all of these different features in separate videos, like Ghost Jeffy in that one video with Luigi. We've seen visuals close to Chef Pee Pee sinking through the ground before as well. This totally could have happened and nobody would have batted an eye. This is a leaked video recorded by Lavelle, where Logan and him are sitting in a car, parked in the McDonald's drive-thru, and Logan is screaming at the top of his lungs at an employee, throwing around a Joseph plush, begging the employee to just give him a Joseph meal. Eventually it escalates when Logan pulls out his Red 9 handgun and starts shooting the Joseph plushie, and then he aims at the employee, which makes the employee finally give him a dead rat and a Happy Meal box. Logan drives away with a smile on his face, looking satisfied with the Joseph meal, vowing to come back the next night and get the Jeffy meal with Lance. Afterwards, he throws the Joseph plush in the back of the car. Lavelle pans the camera back, and there's hundreds of puppets with bullet holes in them lying on the seats. Okay, this one obviously isn't real either. I came up with it when we were in the McDonald's drive-thru, and bro just kept leaning over from the back seat saying, "Can I get a Joseph meal with a Cody shake?" My brother was trying to order. And if you've seen that one episode of SpongeBob where SpongeBob and Patrick are trying not to laugh at 25, it was kind of like that.
Hey, Patrick.
What?
I thought of something funnier than 24.
Let me hear it.
25.
I'm just going to use the Joseph meal as a reminder to tell you to like and subscribe. Also go check out my second channel where I make my own music sometimes. Alright, now back to the video. The author is a big SML fan, so whenever a supposedly unreleased video about Jeffy gets emailed to them, their excitement gets the better of them. They open the file, titled jeffy.avi ... The video starts with Marvin and Rose sitting on the couch, where they talk for a while, until Rose asks Marvin where Jeffy is. Marvin says he really doesn't care, to be honest, so Rose gets up and searches for Jeffy. She walks out into the halls where Jeffy is sitting, staring at a wall like usual. Jeffy slowly turns to her, revealing his face. His mouth is agape with rows of sharp black teeth filling it to the brim, and his eyes looking almost as if they've been out, with glowing blood-red pupils poking through the darkness. Rose sprints away, screaming, with Jeffy quickly sprinting on all fours behind her, moving as if he's not even a puppet. Jeffy catches her when she tries to go downstairs, simply leaping and tackling her to the bottom. Marvin hears the commotion and runs out, only to find Rose's head on an unnatural black spike poking through the floor. Marvin is terrified. He tries to go back upstairs to get his phone and call the police, but when he reaches the red couch room, it's filled with the bodies of everyone who lived with Marvin. Marvin quickly turns and tries to run downstairs, only to find Jeffy behind him. Jeffy holds out a hand, launching Marvin into a wall. He tells Marvin that he is death, then a spike jets out of the wall straight through Marvin's chest, stopping just before it touches Jeffy. Jeffy looks satiated until he notices the camera. Suddenly he says the author's full name and lets the author know that he's coming for them. Yeah, this creepypasta was nothing special. Apparently, it's associated with the lore of Jeffy's Endless Athos, or Shucks. I'm not sure which one. I don't know anything about either since I haven't been a creator in the FNF community for like 5 years. But yeah, I did a lot of rewriting and I'm actually pretty proud of this version. It feels a lot more in character than the original. Like in the original pasta, Marvin walks downstairs and sees Rose's body and her head on a spike, and he's not afraid or acting cowardly like normal Marvin would be. He's angrily searching for the person responsible. Marvin wouldn't do that in a million years. This creepypasta feels like a YTP more than a creepypasta. Like, I'm pretty sure I've seen a glider YTP where the same stuff happens. The creepypasta starts with Marvin getting annoyed by Jeffy before grounding him. Afterwards, Hank knocks on Marvin's door and tells him to mow his lawn. Marvin starts mowing until he thinks about how much he hates Hank and the HuckerEND. Marvin goes to Jeffy and tells him he'll unground him if he helps him with something. As the day fades into night, it cuts to Hank's house. Marvin and Jeffy break in. When Hank goes to investigate, they kill him. Then they head upstairs. It's a pretty normal scene next, with Cody and Timmy making gay jokes, until Cody heads to the bathroom. Timmy is left all alone, and Marvin takes out Timmy while Cody is gone. At the same time, Jeffy takes out Suzanne by the pool by drowning her. Susie is outside, and they finish her off before celebrating, and burning down the HuckerEND's house. The SML question just says, "You're next," followed by a Marvin jump scare. The author vows to never watch SML again, because Jeffy and Marvin are still out there, searching for him. I thought this pasta would have made for an actually pretty decent video if it was a play on something, like the Final Destination parodies or something. This video could have worked for like a horror movie parody during Halloween. I also think it's hilarious that this video uses basically every other trope from classic era pastas as well, particularly gaming pastas. I'm pretty sure Sonic.exe literally ends with the author vowing to never play Sonic again because EXE is still out there.
Hey guys, my name is Yoshi. You guys may know me from Yoshi Bros. I'm a gaming channel primarily, but I don't know by the time this video is done recording, but I have an Iceberg video on the works right now. You guys should check it out. It also features Spooky, so yeah, let's get this started, shall we? The author opens up YouTube at a late hour in the night, tired, and just looking for something to watch or sleep. They see that Logan posted a new video, so naturally they go check it out. The video only has 600 views, but when they click it, regardless, the video starts. It's just Junior sitting on the couch, watching TV, in silence. He doesn't say anything, there's no gag or anything on the news or like a Doofy the Dragon skit, not even music. It stays on the uncomfortable scene of Junior for about 10 seconds, and then it cuts to Chef Pee-Pee. His iconic theme starts playing, and just when everything gets back to normal, Junior creeps up behind Chef Pee-Pee with a knife. He just tries to attack Chef Pee-Pee. The video begins buffering. Eventually, the whole YouTube site crashes. Reopening up the site, the author sees a playlist titled Best Junior Videos. They click on it, and the whole playlist is Junior.avi. Finally, deciding to give the video another shot, he resumes right where it left off. The knife stabs straight through Chef Pee-Pee's chest before it just finishes him off, dropping the knife next to him. As the graphic scene ends, it cuts to Junior sitting on the couch, black tendrils writhing from behind him, and long black claws replace his normal stubs. The author takes a screenshot to send to his friends, opening it in his files. The screenshot is incredibly distorted and oversaturated with text saying, "I'm coming," just above the very distorted Junior. This creepypasta was fine. It took a lot of rewriting to actually make it good, and quite a bit of trimming of unnecessary detail. Still, the core premise of the creepypasta works, even if it's buried with a lot of filler text. The author gets back home after celebrating his birthday, looking for something to watch after his big day. He finds a video with just gibberish from a random YouTube channel, but the video seemed to be about SML, a channel he really liked, so his curiosity got the better of him and he decided to click on it. The video was dated just after the cease and desist incident, and it starts with Logan saying, "Go." Marvin sits on the couch, silently, with no music in the background. All you could hear is Lance and Logan breathing. Jeffy slowly approaches with a pipe cleaner worm. He smacks Marvin a few times, Marvin just blankly staring at the TV, before finally, one breath is heavier than before, Marvin begins speaking. "Jeffy, just leave me alone for today." Logan sounding on the brinks of tears with each word, Jeffy says, "No," quietly. Logan breaks character, muttering, "God f-." Logan slowly getting angrier with each breath, seemingly unable to keep playing with Marvin until Logan screams at Lance, "I can't do this anymore." Lance tries to calm his younger brother before the video cuts. Jeffy and Marvin are in the background. Marvin weakly asks Jeffy, "Go to your room, Jeffy." The words trembling out as it was clear that Logan was either on the brink of crying or breaking down. Lance pulls off the Jeffy puppet out of his arms before the scene cuts. Marvin is in the kitchen alone. No Chef Pee-Pee, no Jeffy, no anybody. As he searches up the pantry, hoping that food will calm his nerves down. But apparently, nothing looks appetizing to him. He then opens up a drawer and pulls out a knife, and Lance yells from the background, "What the hell, Logan?" The scene cuts again, the screen being completely black. Lance and Logan argue, Lance telling him to put down the knife, saying that it's not worth it. But finally Logan breaks down. "I've finally spent 14 goddamn years of my life, Lance. This is how I'm thanked?" Logan yells at Lance. Sounds of someone storming the door and slamming it behind them can be heard before the scene ends. It cuts to the puppet closet. Logan about to create one of the hardest scenes to watch in SML history, with his knife in his hand. He cuts the Mario plush, clearly not holding his tears back anymore, as we can see his tears landing next to the plushies. After Mario is completely torn apart, fluff and cotton, littered on the floor, Rosalina's next. Logan picks her up, twisting and pushing apart, slowly, one by one. All of Logan's Nintendo plushies are burnt, cut, torn, and the scene cuts one last time. A few frames of the new Marvin puppet hanging from the to show. Before a short, amateur-looking animation Marvin plays, likely done by Logan himself. Marvin picks up the lifts it up, puts it to his mouth, and before anything else happens, the video abruptly ends. This is a good creepypasta, honestly, and I genuinely do believe it really could have happened. It's clearly supposed to be about Logan's rage after the cease and desist, and the pasta is well written. Well, for what it's trying to be, at least. On October 30th, 2024, a new SML video was uploaded. The thumbnail incredibly strange. Jeffy and Marvin were standing in a very high contrast image of a hallway. The text on the thumbnail simply saying, "Jeffy." Jeffy was also completely blacked out. The video starts with Jeffy singing a song. He says the N-word. Marvin yells at him not to say it, unlike previous times Marvin yelled at him. This time, something snaps inside of Jeffy. Jeffy quickly knocks out Marvin and Rose, picks them up, and drags them into another room. Marvin and Rose wake up on meat hooks in a freezer, kind of like Dead by Daylight. Jeffy opens up the door and greets them, telling them that he can't handle Marvin's abuse anymore. He then tells them he has something very special planned for them. Marvin begs and pleads with Jeffy, asking him to free him, and they would just ignore everything that happened, but in response, Jeffy turns down the temperature of the freezer and he leaves. Once he leaves, Marvin and Rose eventually succumb to frostbite. Jeffy comes back and gets them, deciding to cook them and serve them to a cookout to his unknown guests, Brooklyn Guy, Simmons, Hank Huckerdoo, and Charleyyy. I don't know about this one. It seems like an actual SML Halloween plot, but it's just a little bit over-exaggerated. It doesn't really work in my opinion. It's like one of those early era creepypastas where the character just goes nuts and kills the rest of the cast. It could work with a bit of finesse in SML, like in the episode Sicken where Cody kills half the cast, but this creepypasta just is missing something to make the suspension work, you know? Like, there needs to be some sort of plot twist. He can't just snap and then just decide to kill all of them. That wouldn't be interesting. That's just horrible plot development. Oh, would you look at the time, guys? I have to go now. I have to finish editing up this video that I'm working on that Spooky's in. So, be on the lookout for that. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna take my leave now.